going to do. So I'm going to get him out in a minute. You guys, yeah? You want me to get him out? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to get him out in a minute, and I'm just going to let him do whatever he's going to do. So if he jumps or something like that, I'm not going to correct it. Reason is because, hey man.
How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Reason I'm not going to correct it is because he hasn't seen you guys in like, what, 4 or 5 weeks? 4 weeks? Yeah, 4 weeks. So he's going to be probably amped out of his mind. And you guys are excited too. So I normally just like don't squash it at all. I just let him do it. So if he engages in behavior that you were like, hey, I thought he was supposed to not do that, it's fine. I don't normally worry about that because I don't like to kind of squash down things that are normally like just it's like normal to be excited in that moment. But things like, all right, you guys are walking by people, and he's like, and trying to jump on them, like that's gone.
Okay.
Like that needs to go away. And then like say like you have somebody over to the house and you want to Bernie out instead of putting them away or something like that. That should be possible, right? The way to do that, I'll show you how it works, but it's to use what's called a condition punisher, which is just a word that's conditioned to mean something like, what do you guys tell them if they did something wrong? Like you guys have a word like, hey, like,
You're punished.
yeah, like you tell them like, dude, and then they'll, you know, there's probably like I know with my dad, like if he just did, I'm like, oh, you know, and so the reason for it was because after that look, what happened? Well, over and over and over again in the past, bad stuff, right? Like I got spanked or I got punished in some other way, like something bad happened. And so then that look then has the same effect as if I'm getting punished already. So it's the same thing with him. So the one that I used was You'll see Bernie go, ugh! He'll freeze up, right? Which is what you want. You want to see him look kind of scared and kind of sad. Sorry. The way I figure it is like, all right, you want him to look scared and sad every once in a while, but they get to like go do lots of cool stuff. Or alternatively, they never look sad and scared for a second, but they don't get to do anything fun because they're rambunctious and obnoxious and horrible. So you can't take them on a walk or do anything fun with them because they're crazy, right? So like the trade-off for like in terms of what makes their life better overall, and what makes your life better overall, right? Because total welfare, the dog, the family, the community, like everybody the dog comes in contact with, it's better that they get punished, just like kids, right? So I'll show you guys how to do that effectively, that in a way that's like humane, where you're not like, you know, don't torture your dog. Please. If you do, I won't tell. I'll tell everybody that I didn't tell you to do it. I'll deny it. I'm like, I didn't do that. No, I did not tell them that. And then we'll go over just like basics after you guys kind of like greet them and have fun and say, oh, you know. Then we'll just talk about, all right, how do we work this in the house? How do we work it on walks? I normally cover in the house stuff, on walks, and how to use play to maintain the training. Right? Do you guys have a backyard that's fenced?
Yeah.
That makes things super easy. Yeah, we can just use that for a little bit, and then we can walk around the neighborhood maybe if we don't get rained out. Yeah, it's supposed to rain pretty soon, so hopefully maybe we'll start with outside, and then we'll do the inside stuff. That way we're most likely to not get rained on. And then I'll just go over like the basics of how dog training works. Right? Okay, so I'm gonna grab him. You guys want me to just let him like run up to you guys?
Yeah, why don't you who he comes first?
Oh yeah. That won't cause any conflict in the family. All right, he's got to be careful who he picks, you know. Watch him run like over there. You guys, what? Come here, buddy. Come here. And he might be a little damp, but he's dried off for the most part. Yeah, he got a bath this like at like 1 p.m. or something. Okay. Oh. Go. Oh, he kind of went to everybody. Good boy. Yeah, that's good. Spinny's, he's very excited. Good job. He's very happy to see you guys. That's good. Good job. Bernie. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bernie, come here, dude. Come here. Oh, I know. Very exciting. Very exciting. Very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah. So if he goes to nip at you, go. Knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. All right. Good boy. So we'll just kind of go over like how the training works. Right. We'll go over the basics. You guys want to go in the backyard?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. So I'll describe like kind of like the main ways we train and stuff like that. Good boy. Let's go. Good. Let's go. Come on. Nope. Good boy. Okay. 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 That's good. Oh, there he goes. Dude. Yeah, he's back in the house. He's like, oh God. Come here. Come here. Bernie. Where are you going? Come here, dude. I know. Very exciting. This always happens when they go back to their house. They get really amped. Normally I'm not here because we normally do it somewhere else. There he goes. You guys have a really nice place. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he likes to grab it. Yeah.
Don't get me.
Yeah. So, well, and that's a really short leash. That one's like 9 feet long, so it's not much of a long line. But it's actually a petite dog tie out technically.
Oh, okay.
But I got it because I have like 50-foot long lines, but I like to have a shorter one. I took him out to like the park and just let him run around like this. Geez, dude, he's having a good time. So the first thing I normally like to talk about is just like the basics. So you won't like know everything about dog training. There's lots of factors, but these basics are super important to understand, to have like a grasp of. So there's lots of different ways to think about dog training, like models, but one of them is operant learning is what it's called. We do it too. And then paired with that is called associative learning, right? So there's lots of associations you guys have. Like if you guys hear like a car start, that makes you think, okay, we're going somewhere. Mm-hmm. Or if you see like dad get the keys, you're like, okay, like he's leaving, right? Or if you hear a knock at the door, you assume you have a visitor, right? So there's all kinds of different like cues that we have that mean things to us. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Here, let me see this. Bernie. Good. So you make associations. Mm-hmm. Just like that look, that's an association that people make. Or some parents like to count, and they'll be like 1, 2. That's another association, right? So that's the kind of the first part of it. But then there's the operant part of it. And they're kind of folded together. So I'll give you guys like the technical spiel in like 30 seconds, and then I'll give you what it actually means in like English, like plain English, right? So there are 4 quadrants of operant learning. The first one is negative punishment. Second one's positive punishment. Then there's positive reinforcement, and there's negative reinforcement, right? Negative doesn't mean bad in this context. Negative means that you take something away. You remove access to something. Punishment means that you are making something less likely to happen again. And reinforcement means you're making it more likely to happen again. That's all. So I'll go through each one and kind of describe what they are. And you guys, I'm going to ask you guys for examples of what you think would qualify. Mm-hmm. And then I'll give you more examples. So like positive reinforcement is just adding rewards. You're just giving something good, adding a benefit of some kind. So what comes to your mind when you think of like adding a reward or adding a benefit of some kind for a dog? Treats. That's first time everybody always says treats like immediately. Boom. Anything else? What we got more? Toys. Hug. Affection, right? Affection. So toys, affection, treats. Yeah. Yeah. Praise. Praise. What else? Any others you guys can think of?
Huh? Let him go around, like running around.
Yeah, huge. That one's actually one that so like Bernie, I think I gave him some free treats randomly just because for fun. He didn't earn them, but I just gave them to him. They're actually just treats, just for funsies. But I didn't use any treats during his training, I think, really at all. Maybe like I maybe give him like 2 treats or something like that, just to kind of like with his head position for the heel. But the majority of the positive reinforcement, the benefits that I added, were actually what he just said. That's what I like. That's like the main reward that I gave him because he loves it. He loses his mind. He's like, and he's like, right. So zoomies, that's rewarding for a dog. And then the other part of that is super rewarding is what you said. It's the freedom part, right? Where he's running around. But then there's a second aspect of that, and that's the environment. So the environment is super rewarding. When he pulls you, what does he pull for? Why?
He wants to run. He wants to
do
go.
something.
Wants to do something. Normally he wants something in particular.
Yeah.
What does he normally pull towards?
Like,
Does he pull towards people?
yeah, when he's excited,
Yeah.
or if he wants to go after someone.
Right. So he wants to go see somebody. What about other dogs? He wants to go see other dogs. So those are both obviously things that are beneficial. Like those are benefits to him in his mind. Those are rewards. So you can use them in your training, right? As long as it's safe. What about like squirrels?
Wait, what?
Squirrels.
No, I haven't. Well, with me, we haven't.
Seen
Animals of any kind.
We seen
Yeah.
a couple of wild rabbit here.
Yeah.
When he wanted to chase him.
Yeah. Right. So like chasing wildlife, that's rewarding to him, right? That's something he enjoys. He wants to do it. Or sniffing bushes, the ground, other dogs pee, horse poop. He got to sniff a bunch of horse poop. He tried to, because we went to the state park a couple times, and he wanted to sniff everything. And horses walk on that trail all the time, so there's like a big, huge pile of horse poop, and he just was like, "Look at it!" You know, even dogs. He didn't do this, fortunately, but some dogs will even try to roll in it. Oh yeah, they well, because they like it. They think it's fun. Yeah, they think it's interesting. They like the smells. It's all smelly to them. That's fun, right? So that's all rewarding. Another one that people normally don't think of is overcoming challenge. That's rewarding for a dog. Yeah. Overcoming challenge. Or even, this will kind of move us into another thing, but the reason that I like to do that little exercise is because I like to broaden people's idea of what it means to like give positive reinforcement to your dog. Like, how do you reward your dog? Like, the field there's
a lot.
Well, yeah, there's like, and like that's like a short list of things, but that list could be extended out a lot, right? There's way more ways than treats. Another one is play, but I just thought, I was like, is my mic actually hooked up? I've had that happen where like the whole thing was unmiked, and so then it's just the native recording, and it sounds kind of like I'm underwater or something. There's a difference between play and toys as well. So that's something that we're going to kind of go over a little bit. So the main difference is that when I think about like play, there's a few categories. So there's personal play. I'll give you an example. Bernie, come here. Oh. Like, are we playing? Yeah. Am I using a toy? No. Right. Good boy. Yeah, you're good. Get out. Yeah, there's a ball in there. Oh, that's why. Yeah. So like even that's play, right?
You dropped the mic.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that happens. There it is. There's a magnet in here. We're gonna get it. Well, he's so big that if he jumps up on you at all, which he hasn't been jumping on me much, but like I said, normally this is like the most exciting thing he could be doing, going back to his house. So that's all right. All right, there we go. Cool. Thank you for spotting that. I probably wouldn't have seen it. So personal play, that's one, right? Personal play is easy because you don't need anything. And if you look, like, how do dogs play with each other? They bite each other and they jump on each other. That's basically it. And they sprint around and chase each other. So you can do that with a dog. No problem. Yeah. Bite the dog. Do it. No. Yeah. I've bitten a dog. It's fun, you know? It kind of tastes bad. Yeah. You get a little fur in your mouth. Yeah. But, yeah. And so then, like, one thing to think about, though, is that in personal play, you have to be fair with that kind of thing. So, like, if you do that with the dog, like, as an example, I don't know about you, but when I was your age, and still now, actually, I like to wrestle with dogs. It's just fun for me. I find it entertaining. If I were you, I'd probably end up wrestling with Bernie on a regular basis. That's just me. But if he mouths you while you guys are playing, I wouldn't punish it. Why? Because that's how dogs play. Like, you're like grabbing him and biting at him, and like you're, if you think about it, you're biting him. If you grab him like this, they don't have hands, so they use mouth, right? So if you're going like, oh hey Bernie, oh yeah, good job, yeah buddy, I'm biting him, bite. So if he kind of like play bites back, now if he bites too hard, that's different. Right? Because if you like watch dogs play with each other when they're doing personal play, if he bites too hard, if one dog bites the other dog a little too hard, they'll go, "Hurr," and be like, dude, that was too much, right? Or they'll yelp and be like, and tell them to stop. So that's totally fair game. But like if he's just doing like soft, you guys are playing together, it's fine. Same thing like if he kind of like jumps on you a little bit, kind of just push him off. And if it's too much for you, just be like, hey, like just end it. End the personal play, right? So we got to be sensitive about like what we're putting out and whether or not we're amping it up and making it different for them. And then if we punish them when we initiated, then that's messed up, right? Because like one really easy example is like there's a difference between, hey, Bernie, come here, bud, come here. And so say I want to say hi to him, and I go, hey, buddy, good boy, right? Boy, chill. Good. And I just go like this, then he should be chill, right? He should be calm. But if I go, hey, Bernie, good boy, right? If he is chill, cool. But if he's like, and he gets really amped up, it's like, yeah, I'm getting right like up on him like this. I'm going, oh my God. Then yeah, he's going to get more amped like this. He's going to do this, right? So then it's better that we change how we interact with him. Because if we're like initiating that, good. You can use the condition punisher and kind of be like, dude, chill. But at the same time, you can avoid it entirely if you just don't amp them up like that, right? Good boy. So that's one kind of play, personal play. Another one is tug, right? You can play tug with them, right? You can use something like this, or you can just go to like Ross Dress for Less and just like grab like a random like monkey that has like a squeaker in it and just let him tear it to pieces. You know, you guys can play together, play tug. You can play ball, you can throw the ball. But in those instances, you're getting into what you would call games. Games are really useful for maintaining training. The difference between just like personal play or just like throwing a toy and playing a game is that games have rules. So you can make rules in games. You can pause games and restart them. And you can have criteria to restart the games. So like as an example, I could play. Come on, bud, let's go. Come on. Oh. Right? We can play. Good, yeah. Go get it, yeah. Good boy. Go. Good job, man, yeah. Oh. And he likes for you to stalk him. I'm sure you guys know that. Yeah, and he'll wait for you to get near him, and then he'll be like, and he'll take off, right? So you can have a choice about that, right? You can either just play with him that way because he likes it, or you can make him play a different game, right? So for me, I kind of do a mix of both. Sometimes I'll stalk him because I know it pumps him up, he loves it, right? And I just make that part of the game. So I might go like this, right? And then he's like, oh, right? So I'll stalk him on purpose. But then I can pause the game if I need to, right? And make him drop it. Bernie, Bernie, out, out, Bernie, come, come, come on, come. Good boy. Good. Good boy. So he drops it, and then I can get him back, and we can restart the game, right? But then you could play, like, say, a couple rounds of that. It's fun for him. He's having a good time. And then,
He gets tired.
yeah, he gets tired. Or you can make training a part of it, right? You play, and then you go, Bernie, down. And then say you make him stay in the down for a minute, or 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, or something like that, and he has to wait. And then you restart the game with his release marker. So that's another thing, is we don't use the word stay at all. So there is no stay command. Instead, it's implied. So if you have a release marker, if I tell you to do something in particular, and then I never tell you to stop, well, then you're supposed to keep doing it until I tell you you can stop doing it and do something else. So that's the way it works with all the commands, whether it's sit, down, place, heal, whatever it is. He's supposed to continue staying in the down until I say, okay, okay, and then he can get up. So okay is the release marker. If you say, okay, he's probably not going to understand. He's probably going to stay in the position. I do that on purpose because ideally it's something different than your normal speaking voice, right? Because if you're just like, okay, then you might be talking to somebody else and say, okay, and then he gets up. But if it's, okay, you can see he gets pumped when he hears it. He's, because every time I say, okay, he gets released. Something cool happens. The ball gets thrown, or he gets to run around, or something awesome happens. So he hears that and goes, yeah, he said that, right? So you'll want to maintain that. The most important thing is that you say okay first before you do something else. Because as an example, like say if I go, Bernie, down, and then I go like this every time, if I go, or I turn around and start walking and then say okay, then he's going to think that's the signal instead of thinking that the okay is a signal. And you can also see here, I can say okay, 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 come on, good. And he gets up when he hears the more high-pitched one, right? So that one's important. Oh boy. So that's how you use positive reinforcement. It's some ways to play games with them and stuff like that. The other really big one here is negative reinforcement and positive punishment. Those are super important to understand. Here's how they work. Negative reinforcement is for teaching new things and also for maintaining commands that that a dog has learned. So you can do two things if you want somebody to comply with something. Like say you want, say that you're a governmental agency and you want people to wear their seatbelts. You have two options. You can either use positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. An example of positive reinforcement would be you could put a device in the car that every time somebody puts their seatbelt on and drives more than 5 minutes, $1 comes out. Right? That would be effective. People would put their seatbelts on because they're like, I'm gonna get my $1. And if they drive every day, then they get like $30 a month, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna get those dollars, right? And there's like no penalty. Like why wouldn't I put it on? You know? That would be expensive though. So instead of that, they do something else. They use negative reinforcement. So what happens if you get in the car and you don't put your seatbelt on, you drive away?
You get fined.
You could get fined, but what happens before that? What's built into the car?
As the sounds.
Ding, 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 and you're like, oh my God. All right, so what happens if you start hearing the dinging?
Annoying.
You put it on because it's annoying, right? It makes you put your seatbelt on, right? Now, let's take a different context, and let's say that you didn't know why it was dinging. Say you got in a car, you'd never driven a car before, you didn't know anything about cars, you hadn't even ridden in one, and bad idea, but you were just going to be like, all right, I'm just going to get in a car and start driving. And you got in there and you started driving a little bit, and then you just heard ding, 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 ding. What would you do? It's really annoying, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do you do?
Put on the seatbelt.
Well, what if you don't know why it's dinging?
Oh.
I'll stop the car.
stop the car, and then what?
Find out what was going on.
You'd be trying to like figure it out, right? So you'd start pressing buttons on the dash probably and be like, dude, what turns this off? And you'd start trying everything. And then once you finally figured out and you put your seatbelt on and stopped, you'd be like, oh, thank God it turned off. Oh my gosh. Right? It's kind of like hearing beeping in the house and you're like, what is beeping? Why is it beeping? And you're just like trying to like figure out what's beeping and you're trying to like turn stuff off and like trying to make it stop. Once you finally figure it out, well, do you remember? Yeah. Right? And so it's an effective learning tool because something that's annoying or that's frustrating or that any kind of pressure that whether it's physical pressure, social pressure, or like pressure from a sound, if you learn how to make that go away, you retain the thing that you learned very quickly. So as an example, say you want to teach a dog to go into a sit. Bernie, you can lure them with a treat, right? You can wait for them to sit and then you can like reward it. Or you can do both. You can do this. You can pull up. Bernie, sit. Right? He already knows sit. But if I just pulled up on the collar, he would know, okay, I can make that go away by sitting. And then I can go, okay, and he can run around. So then he gets, okay, pressure goes away when I sit, when I hear that word sit. And then I get released and I get to have a bunch of fun. So you get both ends. You get to get rid of pressure and you also get something fun on the other end, right? So that's how we train. I normally just take dogs on walks and I play games with them. And I use pressure and then they get to relieve the pressure by going into the position or by staying in the position or doing the command. And then they also, on the other side of relieving the pressure, get to do something fun, like go chase a ball or go sniff everything or sometimes get a treat or whatever it is, right? So that's why negative reinforcement can be really powerful. It's just people don't always like to do it with their dog because it makes them feel bad, right? Because they see maybe their dog looks stressed, right? I don't know about you. I'll be very frank. I'm stressed relatively frequently. That's called life. Life is stressful. I'm stressed when I have bills. I'm stressed when I have a lot of work to do and not a lot of help. I'm stressed when I have to prepare an assignment. I'm stressed all the time about random things, right? Life is stressful. But as you cope with stress, you become more resilient. You become stronger and more able to cope with stress. And so like if you think about like raising a kid, you guys are raising a couple of kids, I'm raising one, right? Would you rather shield them from all stress and they never have to deal with it and then like they grow up and they're just like they get like thrown into like to hell basically? Like just like it's awful because all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we shielded you and now it's gone and you're just going to get dogpiled by the world. It's going to be bad. Like no, you gradually build their tolerance for feeling stress. Like they have deadlines at school, they have deadlines in the congregation, they have deadlines, they have things they have to do at the house, chores, things like that. And yeah, do they get rewarded for it? Yep. But do they also have pressure that if they don't do it, bad things happen? Hopefully, right? Because if not, they won't be prepared for being an adult. So it's the same thing with a dog. So it's actually beneficial to teach them certain things using pressure and then maintain those things with pressure. Instead of, even if you could just teach it without any, because it teaches them to deal with that pressure, because there's going to be times where they're just going to have pressure and they have to deal with it. Like think about anything that he has to do that's uncomfortable for him or he doesn't want to do, that he has to do, that puts pressure on him. Taking a bath. He was like, dude, get me out of this bathtub, please. He was like, please get me out like of this bathtub. He was just like, and he was kind of doing, he didn't want to be in there, right? But he knows how to deal with that stress. He knows, okay, I can just deal with the stress and then it'll go away and then I get to go do fun stuff, right? So that can be very beneficial, or getting his nails cut, going to the groomer, going to the vet, anything that's stressful for him. You can also think about situations where obligation is important, because the other big place where negative reinforcement is important is reliability in a command. You could treat an employee really, really well. But if there was a bigger carrot somewhere else, something they wanted more than they wanted what you were giving them, if there were no consequences, might go do it. even if you treated them really well. But if there was a consequence, like they lost their job, or they got their pay docked, or something bad happened, or they got like points on their record or something like that, they got a mark. If something bad happened, then they would be like, that looks really great, but I'm not going to do it because if I do it, then this bad thing will happen. So it creates an obligation that goes further than just giving them the good thing, like getting paid, right? And so with a dog, you can think about lots of circumstances. They can love you to here, like to the moon and back, right? You can give them lots of treats, you can play with them, you can do all kinds of stuff, and they might listen to you 90% of the time. But what about when there's a group of kids over there playing and they have a dog over there and it looks really exciting and they're like, and they're off leash. And they go, ah! And they want that more than they want what you have at that moment. They're going to go over there. But if they know they're going to get fined, if they do that, they might think twice about it and not do it, right? Because there's going to be a fine. You can think about it, it's the same way about like traffic tickets, like if you're driving. If you say did like what a lot of insurance places do, they'll like give you like a discount on your insurance if you drive well. Like, oh, cool, yeah. But like say you like find speeding really exciting, right? Fast cars are cool, right? And there was no, you never got a ticket. You just got like some money off on your insurance. They're gonna speed, right? But if they know, okay, I get a $200 ticket, then I get a $500 ticket, then I get a $2,000 ticket, and then I lose my license, they have like a reason not to speed then. And that's way more effective than just the insurance thing, right? So the question you might have in your head is like, well, what does that look like for a dog? Right? What are we looking at for negative reinforcement? And then also all the stuff that's negative reinforcement is also going to be the same thing when it comes to positive punishment, right? The difference between the two, they are all the same things that you use, but the reason for it is different. For negative reinforcement, say, Bernie, come on, bud, come on, down, right? Say if I push a little bit, I put a little bit of pressure on his collar, that's negative reinforcement, because the pressure that I'm putting down on his collar goes away as soon as he goes into the down. Okay, come on, buddy, let's go, come on, right? That's negative reinforcement because I'm reinforcing the behavior I want. Positive punishment is all the same stuff. It could be pop on a collar, right? Just down because I popped his collar a little bit, right? It could be a pop on a collar, or it could be a tap on the shock on the e-collar, or it could be social pressure, right? Like if I like, right? Like that's weird. Right? Isn't that weird? Yeah, that's like, dude, like what? You were probably like, why is he? Yeah, you're like, that's kind of gross. Like, dude, are you good? Like, you know? Yeah, why are you so close to me? What's happening? You know? Right? But like, that's pressure. And so if I'm like here and I'm like, hey, like, don't do that, man. Versus like, I'm as close to you as I just was, and I'm like, don't do that. Very different, right? And so that's social pressure because I'm moving into your space. You can do the same thing with a dog, right? Me here going, versus me like, dude, no. That's different, right? So that's another way. Or another really useful way to like amplify social pressure is just to, if you don't have a leash on, you can just go, right? You're booping him on the nose. You're going, Don't do that, right? And the point of it isn't the physical pressure on the nose. It's not trying to hurt him. It's more that I'm getting in his space and doing like this, like, dude, no. Right? And then I'll move into disappointment. I'll be like, dude, why? What are you doing? And he's like a little kid that got in trouble, right? That's what, he's like, right? That's what you want to see. So you want to see that same vibe coming from your dog if you're punishing it, right? And that's how you know if you actually punish the dog or not. If you see them still doing this, and they're like that still, they didn't get punished, right? Just like if he was like still like, if you were like, dude, don't do that, like I told you not to, and he's like, right? You're gonna make it worse, right? Because like you're like, that's not the reaction that needs to happen for me to know that you took me seriously. And so for him, same thing. If he's still out here like, or just kind of like looking around like, and just not caring about it, nothing got punished. So say he like jumps all over a guest or something like that. That's when you would use positive punishment, right? Because if he did that, then you could, if you had no leash on him, you could grab his collar, pop him on the nose, go, right? He probably didn't like that I said that just now. It's okay, buddy, come here. You're okay, you're okay. Come here, come on. Because he's a Cincy boy. I don't know if you, I'm sure you guys know that. He's very sensitive to social pressure, right? So that's very effective with him. But yeah, you just get into space, go, and never do that again, right? And if he has like a leash on, you can just pop his collar and be like, don't do that. And as soon as you see him go, you're good. You did it right. And if it's say like he like had his iPad out and you told him not to, and you're like, hey, put the iPad away, and he went and put it away, and then like a minute later you saw he had like taken it back and was like looking at it again and like messing with it, would you do exactly the same thing you did the first time? No, you'd be like, dude, really? And you'd make him put it away, and he'd probably be a worse punishment. So same thing in this case. It's all the same stuff. If he's like jumping all over somebody and you go, and he goes, okay, and he knocks off. He stops doing it. But then he goes right back to it. Then it's like, all right, no. Right? You still say, and then you're going to make it worse. Because what you're trying to do is make him go, I don't want to do that again. You're trying to decrease the likelihood that he does it again next time. So if you make it worse, socially and with like this or with the e-collar, then he goes, whoa, I don't want to do that again, right? So that's how you'll handle that kind of stuff. It's very important to do it that way. Same thing if he blows you off when you ask him to do a command. So like with positive punishment, that's when he does something that you don't want him to do, and you're making it less likely for him to do that again. Jumping on somebody, biting at a guest, just like he's not aggressive at all. He's incredibly friendly. But like, just doing like inappropriate things. But if he's supposed to be doing one thing, like you ask him like, hey, do this, and then he doesn't do it. With like a kid, you could just talk to them and be like, hey, like I really need you to do that. And you can give them reasons. He's smart, but he don't speak any languages. He doesn't have that rational capacity. He can't understand. And people sometimes think like, oh, my dog knows these words and knows what like sentences mean. Like, no, they don't. I promise they don't. They associate sounds with things that those sounds predict, right? But an example I like to give is like, he knows that if I say sit, I make that sound sit, or a sound close to that, that if he puts his butt down, he avoids pressure and gets good things. He knows that. But he doesn't know that you can sit, because he doesn't understand like the concept. He's like, oh, sitting is to do this, and that means that they can sit too on that chair. Like, no, he doesn't. That doesn't happen in his brain, right? So because of that, the only way to apply pressure is physical and social. You can't talk with him like that. It would be really nice if you could. I would also have no job. Or maybe I would. I'd be like a therapist or something, like a dog human therapist. I'd be like, all right, so like, tell me what's going on in your relationship, guys. But let's see. That's kind of how all of those basic concepts work, and that's how you can do with the play. But the other really important stuff is that's outside, because we're lucky right now. We're doing all right. We're fortunate. So, is using the play. One example I like to give is red light, green light. If we were to play red light, green light right now, I can give you two different ways. You want to play red light, green light real quick? For like 2 seconds? Yeah? All right. I'll give you two different ways to do it. And you tell me which one would be fun. And then I'll give you a third scenario. All right? Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Would you play that game if somebody did that? No. You'd be like, this is awful. What are you doing? Right? But what's the regular way to play red light, green light? It's like more random and varied, and you're like green light. red light, green light, red light, right? Like there's space. That makes it fun. But if it's like red light, green light, red light, green light, people do that with their dogs when they play with them, when they try to use the play for training all the time. Because they'll like throw the ball once, dog goes, gets the ball, they play a little bit, they take the ball, and then they're like sit. And they just like rinse, wash, repeat. And so what the dog thinks is, this is lame, right? But instead it's like, hey, like just like play hard for a few minutes and then be like, all right, down. And they're like, oh. Okay, right? And then you guys play for a while. But don't like that. I'll give you the third scenario. And this is another little tidbit about negative reinforcement and why I think it's really useful, is context matters, right? So if you're doing an activity that you find enjoyable, negative reinforcement's a lot less problematic for you, right? So imagine you guys are walking in the park, and a guy pops out from behind a building and throws a dodgeball and hits you in the head with it. Are you like, hey man, why'd you do that? Or are you like, oh, or are you like, dude, what the heck? You can't do that. What are you doing? And you call, it's like that's not cool. You're gonna be mad, right? Or another example I like to give is with red light, green light. If you're playing red light, green light, and you play the normal way, right? Not that first way I gave. I'll tell you that I think red light, green light, it's a game you normally play when you're a kid, right? And it's a lot of fun. And then you're like, as you're an adult, it's like less fun. There's less like parameters. It's like not that interesting. But I'll tell you, somebody could convince me to play like really quickly, really easily. Like I would play like every week if they just added one thing. Play red light, green light, and imagine like we have a field set up like this. And on this side and on that side, you have like some like poles with like AI cameras on them that like track your movements, and they watch as you play red light, green light, and there's like a little cannon on it that has a dodgeball in it. And if you have like certain rules that you can set. So like if you take more than 2 steps after somebody says red light, you get hit with a dodgeball. I'm in. Like immediately I'm in. Like sign me up. I'll play every week. It can be a league. Let's do it, right? So in one scenario in the park, somebody throws it at you randomly. That's not cool. That's punishing, right? But in the red light, green light scenario that I just gave, it's kind of fun. It makes it more interesting. Yeah, it's part of the game now, right? So it's the same thing with negative reinforcement when you're playing with a dog. So as an example, like we're play, and then I say down, and he's downing, and then I don't tell him to release yet, but I kind of like go like this, and he gets up, and I go, and I pop him and put him back into the down, and he's like, because of the context, that has a different effect than he's just like kind of doing nothing, and I pop him and go, The context changes things. So in a really fun context, negative reinforcement isn't as psychologically problematic for a dog. So that's one of the reasons I like playing games with dogs, because they can learn faster that way, and they can maintain their training more easily that way. It's also something where they're up here in terms of excitement, and then you're asking them to do something. So they have to go from 60 miles an hour to 0 really fast, which is what you're training for anyway, right? If I trained him only when he was like calm, great, he listens to me when we're calm and nothing's going on. Cool, like he already did that, like you know what I mean? Like at least like maybe he like learned a few new commands, but like cool, like that's not really what we wanted, right? We wanted it where it's like, hey, like even if he's like more amped up, we can get him to stop and listen. That's the real problem, right? Because like I saw, like it said like sometimes or like somewhat reliable when like for like sit and down and a couple of other things. Like so maybe he has like an idea of like those things. But if there's anything distracting going on, he's like, nah, I'm not doing it, right? So it's like that's a problem. And so then that's what we do with the training is we're like, okay, like let's amp him up. But then like, okay, you still have to do that thing, right? whether it's in play or the other main way that we train is on walks. So I just take him to the park and we go on long walks, and he obviously sees other dogs, other people, all kinds of stuff. And then I teach him commands while we're walking, right? And then he has to do those commands, and I proof them. I look for opportunities where I think he might blow me off and not listen. And then I reinforce it with the e-collar, right? So I saw on the intake that you guys haven't used an e-collar with him before.
We did, but it didn't work with him.
It didn't work? Explain.
I mean, we use the, it's a different one that the one that you ask it to order.
Yeah, yeah.
Has the one that the buzz.
Okay. Did you guys use the shock at all, or just the vibrate?
I did.
You did use the shock?
He didn't feel anything. I
Okay.
don't know because of the.
What level was it on?
So I did it all the way too.
All the way? Okay. So there's probably two potential problems. There's a few potential issues that could be the reason. One could be he has a lot of fur.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is not making contact with his skin, he won't feel it at all.
I think that's what.
Come here, dude. Come here. So that's one possibility.
Yeah.
Another possibility is that, so Bernie, funnily enough, socially, if I go like, dude, super sensitive, like with the e-collar, not so much. Out of the set of dogs I'm training right now, he's the one that cares about the e-collar the least in terms of like on the low levels. Like there's a video that I put up on Instagram. It's been on YouTube for a bit, but where I was like initially testing out his e-collar, and he kind of surprised me. I was like, dude, really? Because like I tested several times to make sure like it was on and it was working and that it was making contact, and he just didn't feel it or it, like if he did feel it, it just didn't matter to him. Because like I tried it on a 5, because I start all the way at the bottom and like work it up. So it started at a 5, and then a 10, and a 15, and then a 20, and 25, and a 30, and then I was like, is it working? So I went and checked, because I was like, I ended up getting to like a 50 or a 60, and then he was like, and I was like, oh, okay. You're just like that. All right, cool. So apparently he's just kind of like sits higher on the e-collar in terms of levels.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's out of 100, right? So he sits a little higher. I've turned this up all the way and put it on my neck and shocked myself. So it's like, it's not like torture or anything like that, just so you guys know. We don't tase dogs. Tasing dogs is bad. So it's not built like a taser. It's like a TENS unit is what they call it. But it is designed to be uncomfortable, right? It's like, I don't know, have you ever used a TENS unit? It's that thing that you put on for like muscle recovery. It's like you get like a couple of pads, and it's like they're like, you can put them on your leg or your arm or something if you like pulled a muscle or something, and it'll just make your muscle go. No? Okay.
Probably they put that on me when I was doing physical therapy once.
Probably. Yeah, and you just feel like a little, and it makes your muscle jump a little bit. If you turn that all the way up, I mean, it's uncomfortable, but it's not like a taser, right? Because it stays localized to one place, because it's grounded on both ends. A taser is just like you to the ground. And you're like, you know, that's why they're immobilized by it. But like the e-collar, obviously they're not immobilized by it because they can still run around and do whatever they're doing. It's just designed to be a little uncomfortable, make their muscle jump, right? So with that, yeah, he sits a little higher normally. So like when I put it on him, I haven't used it at anything less than a 30. That's just him. I have another dog I'm training right now that like, I normally have it on like a 12. Right.
And they respond to it.
Yeah, they respond really like the same that he responds to like a 50. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just a random thing, but that's why I tell people don't get caught up on numbers.
Yeah.
Because numbers don't really mean anything. So the number on the e-collar, you don't worry about it. Like, that's high. Like, The only way that you know anything about the number is what effect does it have on the dog? If I put it on a 60 and he was like, every time, it's like, dude, that's way too high. Like, don't do that, right? Yeah, it's like, that's crazy, you know? Because like, I mean, there's dogs where I put it on like a 20 and they'll scream every time, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, that's too much, right? The other reason I tell people not to worry about numbers is because context changes things. As an example, say that you guys are sitting at the computer, you got your headphones on, somebody walks up behind you, taps you on the shoulder. right? Say that I'm looking right at you, and I come and tap you on the shoulder. Not a big deal, right? So same thing with the e-collar. Say it's on a 30, and we're just walking along, and I ask him to sit, and he doesn't sit, and I tap it. He might be like, whoa. Say it's on a 30, and he's really amped up to go see a dog, and that dog wants to play with him, and you recall him, and you do a 30. He might just completely ignore it and keep trying to do what he's doing. And then you might go up to a 50, and then a 60, he still ignores it. And then you do it on a 70, and he's like, whoa, and he comes back, right? But if you leave it there at a 70, and then you ask him to down, and he doesn't down, and you go, he's going to go, wah! Right? So it's context dependent, right? And then just like people, it could just depend on the day, right? So you have to be flexible with it and pay attention to how they react to it. If the reaction is way too big for what they did or for what they didn't do, turn it down. If they don't react to it at all, it was ineffective, turn it up. Does that make sense? Okay. The other thing is, I implore you, use the shock. I know.
Use it or you don't
Use it.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. I only use it. Don't use the other ones because we didn't use them at all. The reason that we don't use them is for a couple of things. One, most people think of them as like warnings. I can make sounds, if that makes sense. Like I can make sounds with my face. Like I can say things. So if I go, like that is effective. And like if I go, and then like if he then like ignores that, then I can use the shock, right? But so like why use the tone of the vibrate and then use the shock? I can just go, and then use it. Does he look at me every time I say it? I'm trying not to like be too like, yeah, I'm trying not to be like too amped up about it. Yeah, I'm trying to say it quiet because I don't want to like freak him out. But yeah, like it's like that because he's heard and then he's felt the shock, right? Which is the whole point. Is he's supposed to go whoa, and then that sound has power like this does. So then you don't have to constantly use it all the time every day.
So that
right?
is just in case he doesn't respond to the verbiage.
Precisely. If he doesn't respond to the verbal, then you need to think of it like the verbal stuff. It has a battery. So if it's kind of like this. If every time you told them not to do something, and then they did it anyway, if 20 times in a row they didn't do it and nothing happened, they would start to think that you telling them they shouldn't do it doesn't matter. It means nothing, right? Yeah, but if one time you say, hey, don't do that, and then they do it anyway, and then you go like, hey, like don't do that, like seriously, I mean it. Like I'm gonna like kind of let you off with a warning this time, but like don't do that again because next time it's gonna be bad. Like you're gonna get your toys taken away, or like you're gonna get spanked. Like something's gonna happen, right? Yeah, freaking no, like something bad's gonna happen, right? Then if they do try that again and then you follow through, then your words start to have power, right? Yeah. And so, but then you have to maintain that power that your words have by following through when you need to, right? So it's the same kind of thing with this. This allows you to follow through, even if he's over there, right? And
He has it now?
yeah, he has that on. Yeah, oh. I've actually used it once.
Oh, okay.
You probably just didn't notice.
No, I don't even see it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's got the. That's it's in there. Yeah. So. Before we go inside, if the rain will allow us, I'll just show you really quickly like my philosophy on walks. But or you know what, we can go inside, but I'll kind of tell you what my philosophy is on it. And then if you watch, there's like probably 6 or 7 more hours of footage that's going to be uploaded to YouTube with Bernie. So if you watch the stuff that's already been put up, and then all of the rest of the stuff that's going to be going up over time on YouTube, and then it's all going to go on Instagram, but. YouTube's easier to watch, like the whole thing. If you watch through that, you'll see me take him on walks, and I describe why I would do the things that I do with the walks. Let's go. Boy, he's a smart dog. Smart boy. Yeah. Get that nastiness. At least he should smell decent. He should smell good. Yeah.
Hey, somebody
Come on, bud.
He knows.
He's good. That's good. Bernie, let's go. Come on. And he goes.
You know he's home.
Looking for
Yeah.
water.
Oh, you don't have to take your shoes off?
And why not? Yeah, he's probably thirsty by now.
Yeah.
Good dog. And then if you guys don't mind, I'm going to grab something from the car so he doesn't have to drag that line around.